morning, all. Good morning and welcome. I am. Good morning. Oh, crazy morning so far. It's Monday. Yay. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining. Welcome. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Mary June Tracy, spiritual love of life coach, the Guru Mama. Many people call me Mama G or Mary, MJ, Mary June. So go by many names. Hi, welcome. And we've been talking about the assertive. You got just having coffee and brekkie. Nice. Love it. Good morning. We've been talking lately about assertive earth angels. So good morning, Margaret. Welcome. And being an assertive earth angel. And I was reflecting this morning after I do have my morning little ritual where I do some meditations and stuff, and then I journal. And one of the things I was reflecting on was a year ago, and all of the things that have happened in this last year from last year to today. And last year was, May was a crazy month for us, and it was just only anglais, very like itsy French, and when I was reflecting and looking at everything that I've gone through, right, being and how it corresponded with being this assertive angel, it was really catapulting me to do and be what I do, right? And being open and honest and cracking myself open, I guess to say. So last year, just for many of you who don't know, we were living in a home, and we, that's true. A year ago, and when we were living in this house, which is actually just down the street from where I live now, living in this house, and the landlord seemed nice. My daughter was pregnant, and hi, welcome. Yes, my daughter was pregnant at the time, and with that, she was in her this May is her due month, and we were just going through some heck of a time, and I had to withdraw from doing a lot of my appointments and everything because she wasn't feeling well and everything. So my business is based on who comes in, right? So I'm an entrepreneur. I have to promote myself, do all of that kind of stuff, right? And if I'm not out there doing my thing, then it just, you don't get money. And my husband was just starting his new job up at Heritage Park. And we explained this to the landlord, and that we would be late and everything with the rent. Oh my God, what craziness happened from there. The craziness was that he gave us an eviction notice, and the eviction notice was, he did not have any sympathy, did not care, did not want to know any news on the fire. It's still going. That's all I know. It's still going. And in doing that, I ended up doing a GoFundMe and just letting people know exactly what was going on in our life and everything. And for us, and I was doing it as an exchange. So anybody who donated, I would do an exchange as a healing or a reading or something for them. And oh my God, that is such a funny question. I don't know why you would ask me something like that. I'm not even going to comment on that one. And in doing so, the outpour of my community was so overwhelming and so supportive for me. And it ended up that we ended up going to court, and we got him the money and everything. We were $25 short, and he still took us to court. Anyways, long story short, we ended up having to move. He wanted us out. He didn't want, even though we paid all rent, everything, we got everything together. And that brought me into like really starting to stand up for myself and really speak, where before I really had problems speaking to a lot of people of authority. I did not want conflict. I don't like conflict. I don't like to be, that person who, believe it or not, who goes out to the forefront. But what it ended up was pushing me more to stand up. And I did. I stood up to him, and a lot of things that he did, and I really voiced to him, the way that he acted and how he acted. He said I was blowing hot air up my ass. So that was fine. To this day, that house has never been rented. For whatever reason, it's never been rented. And he's had a lot of trouble renting it. Squad, Alberta, burning. So it was just one of those things. I guess karma. Then we moved into another home, and same kind of issue with the landlord. So it was like almost I was like being tested on, this is what you got to do, Mary. You got to stand up. It's not only for yourself, but for your family, but for others. And I ended up standing up with the next landlord, and even with where I was practicing from, and standing up. And there were very, very pushy men who didn't like when I pushed back, who felt that if they pushed me, that they would break me. And I found out, well, no, you can't break me. I have to stand firm. And as I'm writing all of this, it was funny because then I got a sense because of my great grandmother coming forward, and I've never really met her, And the message she kept on saying to me that as women, we've always had to do this. Even as she was growing up and being a woman of the Victorian age and raising her daughters, she wanted to raise her girls to be strong. She wanted to raise her girls to be able to have a say. And my grandmother was very outspoken. She really was. And to be able to stand firm in their beliefs. And that was huge for her. And that's the message I kept on getting. And she said that was the message to be continued on within her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, her great-great-grandchildren, and all the women along the line, is to be able to stand firm in your beliefs and be true to who you are. And sometimes when craziness hits the fan, we want to go hide. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to have anything to do with it. And we don't like to, especially as earth angels, or, many of us women don't want to have that conflict, and men too. We don't want that conflict. Instead, we like to feel like a victim or depressed or sorry for ourselves because of it. Things happen yes, and it does make you stronger. It really, really does. And in that strength, you're able to teach others. So in what had happened, helped me to teach others, gave me more content in order to step forward and help more people around me. And allow my ego to step aside and to know that there's always a balance going on in this world. We may not see it. I know the forest fires are horrible and up there, but forest fires are a natural occurrence in our world, and especially if you live up north or anywhere whether you're living by a forest, it's a natural occurrence. The old has to get out of there in order for the new to come in. It has to happen. It's a natural occurrence. I know it's horrible. People lost their homes and all of that, but we are also building in the middle of an environment where it's wildlife, right? Oh, welcome, Tina. I didn't see you come in. Where there's wildlife. So things happen. And it is bad. And it is horrible when people lose things. And it is horrible when craziness happens like this. But what it does, look at the community it's building. Good morning, Sean. Look at the community it's building. Look at how when something crazy happened with me last year, how that brought such wonderful community together. And with that, community made not only me stronger, but the community around me stronger, and also brought an awareness of how our system works, which it doesn't work very well. We think it does, but it doesn't when it comes to helping those in need, and who gets left out with helping those in need, and how it's funny how when you go into, say, Alberta Works or social services, wherever you are, that whoever is behind that counter, if you find someone wonderful that works with you, great. But then you can find somebody who's not so wonderful, who doesn't want to work with you for whatever reason, right? And really want to still keep you down. But even with that, it's like allowing you to say, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be strong, right? And in being in that inner strength and getting that courage brings you closer to who you are, brings you closer to that divine power. And when you are getting connected with your God, with your divine love, you are actually feeding into your true self. And when you're feeding into your true self, you're allowing yourself to shine in that truth, and your light just brims, right? And it really starts to expand. And as it starts to expand, all of that suffering that you feel fades away. It is, it starts to fade away, and allowing you to use it as strength. Good morning. And allowing you using it as strength instead of using it as something to hang on to, that you want to use it as being a victim or being depressed or feeling sorry for yourself, right? Thank you. It's allowing you to grab hold of that inner strength so that you can not reject it. Rejecting is the wrong word. It is to accept it. That's what it is. It's to accept it and to get yourself through it. And in doing that, it's allowing you to realize what your ego is doing. And today, actually, it started off kind of slow, and my allergies were flaring, but it's starting to be good, because the other thing with this Earth Angel, what I really wanted to start bringing in, was what you can do to bring forth that strength. Words are wonderful. Doing mantras is wonderful. And working with, your prayers and everything are wonderful. But there's other things that you can start to utilize and bring around you in order to help you with that inner strength. And one of the things that I really wanted to share was crystals. Because sometimes in feeling and getting that inner strength, it's the divine has given us everything on this earth to use, and crystals are one of them. And so do I. For Mother's Day, we went out and I did do some shopping, and I did get some crystals. So one of the things is, and they're very hard to find, it's called the Gaia Stone, and it is called green obsidian. It's very difficult to find because it's only found at Mount St. Helens. And it was found many years after the eruption of Mount St. Helens, right? Need to go shop. Yeah. The Gaia Stone, I bought 5, right? And I gave one to my husband because it was one of the stones that he needed for himself. So the Gaia Stone is actually associated with the heart chakra. It is green, but being a green obsidian, it is volcanic, right? So it's not actually a crystal, it's more of a mineral. And it is associated with the goddess connection and thought to attract the earth energies and nature spirits. It's to carry this earth energy is sometimes referred to the soul of the earth. So this is bringing a lot of energy of the earth with you. I remember when Mount St. Helens erupted. I lived in Penticton, BC. And when that volcano erupted, and we were hundreds of miles away in Canada from it, but we got a lot of the ash. It just came down, and my dad actually saved some of the ash in vials and stuff. But it, out of this, so out of the craziness, I had, heart attack and survived. Need is the green stones. Yeah, if you can find them. Oh, you're in Vernon. Yeah, so much ash. It was crazy. This green obsidian the Gaia stone is actually, the origins is Washington, obviously. And if you're able to get some, they are a little bit expensive. This size can run from anywhere from $9 on up to about $15, depending on who you're getting it from. So, and when they get them in, they usually go very quickly. So you can try Etsy and stuff, or eBay. Just be careful that you're making sure that it's a reputable gem person. I'm in North Coastal San Diego. You should be able to get them very easy. You know, being in the States and stuff like that, you should be able to get them quite easy, more easier than us in Canada. Just saying. But they're just a beautiful stone. I got 5 altogether. I have 4 right now. They jump all over the place. I have 4 right now. My goal is to have 8 because I work in a medicine wheel. Hello from Spain. Welcome. And the other thing that I got, which is actually it's a beautiful, beautiful stone. I want to get the big one. And it's called the Shiva. The Shiva stone. Okay, this is only found in India. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. The Shiva stone is actually, it's very rare. It's another rare one. And it is found in the Narmada River. Okay? This is only collected by one family. One family in the world is allowed to collect this because they've been blessed to collect it. It is part of the Lingam. Lingam is the original religion of the world. It is one of the oldest religions in the world. This energy, so when you start holding this energy, it is an object of power and the power within. You can actually program this stone. It's a stepping stone for enlightenment, so you can actually program it to what you want. Okay? They can come very, very tiny to large to huge ones about this big, right? And I was going around and I wanted to carry the big one. The feeling of it, because it comes from the river, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful stone, right? So I'm using this a lot in my healings right now because my programming is to help people to find their inner power and to trust themselves and not give away their power. And good morning, Leah. And this is so powerful because as Earth Angels, we're so easily giving away our power. And in standing in our power, sometimes we get afraid because people are going to look at us. People are going to see our light. And we don't always want to be seen. But as Earth Angels, or any one of us who are working within to promote light, to promote welfare for others, we need to stand in this, right? We need to stand into our own power. Need to heal to find standing in my own. Yes. It's very, if you can get this one, between the two of them, I would actually recommend to get the Shiva, to start working with the Shiva. The Shiva stone really helps to anchor your power. It's easy to program. Sleeping with it under your pillow, awesome, awesome. It's very powerful that way in helping with sleep. So it is a very, very powerful stone. Yeah, you were at Earth Gems on Saturday. I was there early in the morning, and it was so busy. But they know me when I come in. I went there to also get my Florida water because I was out. So in doing this, it's very, very important. The next thing that I got myself a little feng shui, which is going to be hanging in my healing room. So don't want the light here. So it's just not one of the big feng shui, but just middle one. I know it's shiny. Through my meditations, I'm supposed to have at least 11 plus balls hanging in my house. Just for protection and just to allow, because I get a lot of people coming through my home, and the feng shui balls really disperse the energy, right? So when the light hits it, it does the rainbow effect. So it's really, really cool. And it really helps to bring forth the prosperity, abundance, health, healing, all of that into your home. The other stones, and you know, that I got are my shamanic journey stones. The shamanic journey stones came in a package of like this, right? Oh, why 11? 11 is another very powerful number that has to do with numerology, because it always ends up being 1, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2. You can put the 2 and divide the 2 into 1, because 1 plus 1. So it's a very powerful one. 11 people in here right now. Exactly. And it is really a balancing one too. And just the way some of my rooms are formed, to have 4 in the corner and of each of my rooms. So 11 is also what we use to do copper gridding around a home. 11 is the max. So 11 is just one of those little powerful numbers. 8 for a medicine wheel, because 8 is what they've always used traditionally within a medicine wheel and going in a medicine wheel. So when I make a medicine wheel and teach the energies of a medicine wheel, I always use 8. These ones here are called the shamanic dream crystal. They come in very tiny, right? To one of the larger ones is like this. Okay. My number is 8. So that's cool, yeah. And 8's a very powerful number too. And especially if you're doing meditation and working within a wheel. And doing meditations in a wheel. So many times when I do my meditations, I go in a wheel and I activate it. And I activate the wheel. And I go in there and I sit in there. And it's very it's like building a vortex. That's what it is. It's building a vortex. These ones are powerful journeying crystals, and one you can get lost in it, so you have to put a timer on. They're soft energy, and they get you a sense of swimming in the ocean and filled with wonderment. These crystals have been used by shamans to introduce visionary experiences and healings and seeing auras. So these are quite little powerful. They're small, but they're powerful. So when somebody also comes in a healing now, I'm gridding them with the shamanic dream crystals. And I'm putting the Shiva on there. I want to set up a wheel with my crystals like yours. Awesome. Yeah, and activating wheels are very easy. I do teach a gridding class about activating and using different crystals. Different crystals bring in different energies. So like the shamanic dream crystals are going to be bringing in a very gentle one and a connection to your body and spirit. So it's really connecting into one. The Gaia stone here is going to be bringing in a lot of earth energy. So it's going to really bring in some grounding and bring into some really deep, heavier energies. If we use anything like, if I had 9 of these in a circle, oh my goodness, they would be really, there'd be a lot of connection and a lot of swirling going around with this. But as earth angels, I don't speak Russian, so sorry. I think that's Russian. I'm not sure what it is. Bringing in different energies with the different stones is very helpful in helping you to anchor your energy, helping you to feel your energy, connect with self, especially as earth angels. It's really great to go into a grid so that you're able to get into a grid so that you're able to enhance your feelings, enhance what's going on, and give you clarity. So if you're doing any grid work or if you're doing into a wheel, I always suggest have a timer on and always have your have a journal with you, a pen, etc. And always deactivate your grids if you're doing large grids after you activate them. If you're wondering about how to activate them, I can do another Periscope on that, on how to activate them. And I think I did some earlier. Why? Oh, good question, Sarah. Why? Because a vortex or a grid, like if a large medicine wheel, is as above, so below. So it's going all the way up and all the way below. And it actually interferes with the birds and other animals' going through. So a bird won't go through them, like they will not fly overhead. They'll fly around, and it can actually mess them up. So it just really can mess up the animal sensory. So when I do grids in the backyard, or when I do my large one, medicine wheel in the backyard, when I activate it to sit in it, great, but I have to deactivate it when I'm done. I don't leave it up for long periods of time unless I'm doing a class or something like that. My angel class, which we are hoping to get done in June. We're looking at June or July to do the angel alchemy class. And the angel alchemy class is going to be working with the 16 cardinal archangels and the Divine Mother in the center. Very powerful class, because we're going to do it outside and do the gridding outside and feeling the energies outside. It is just absolutely fabulous class. And you can join us. I want to start doing more of my workshops via Periscope so people can actually join me, and I can start spreading more of the word around of doing these types of things. Just have to take a sip of my coffee. Sorry. Really getting connected with self. So that's very, yes. Past lives, manifest abundance, purpose, and destiny classes. Ooh, cool. Are you taking them? Are you teaching them? Are you asking me about them? So, doing past life work is very important in understanding. Oh, you're asking me. Yes, I do past life work. I do a karmic release program. And with that, when we understand our past lives is not to go and live in it, it's going to understand it so that we are not dwelling in it, or holding that energy so we can move forward from it. And then being able to find out what our life lessons are to learn. And once we find out what it is that we have to work on, and one of mine is stepping into my power, understanding that I can step into my power, standing into my belief systems and not being afraid of them. One of for me, one of the big things is exposure. Having exposure, being exposed was huge for me. Even when I was younger, and I would say to my mom, let's pray, but don't tell anybody. And my mom would be like, why don't you want to tell anybody? And I didn't want to be ridiculed for praying. And it was coming back from past lives. At that time, didn't know anything about past lives. We didn't talk about past lives, being Catholic. But there's a strong sense that I didn't want anybody to know that I was praying. Or that I believed in Jesus. I didn't want anybody to know, because I didn't want anybody to ridicule me or punish me, right? And even though I was quite strong in the church and did a lot of youth group work, and it was okay being around people, like-minded people, but in getting out was scary. And then asking questions, when I started asking questions about earth religions, right? I'm just, earth religions and finding out, well, you can't talk about earth religions. But then the church was working very closely with the natives and the native energy. And my dad, I think I'm going a little bit too long, but anyways, my dad was doing some research with the native elders in Penticton and with the on Res. And I went to go with him. And he was doing a lot of the history on what the Oblate Fathers. The Oblate Fathers were some of the founding fathers that brought the church into the area. And there are no Oblate Fathers anymore within the Okanagan Valley. And that's just an order of priests, right? So he did a whole history on them and talked to a lot of the elders. And what we found out, and it was so wonderful, is that a lot of the elders were talking about how the Oblate Fathers wanted to integrate traditional beliefs with the church and bring more people into the church. So they were really integrating a lot of their ceremonies into it, and what a lot of the elders were finding is that a lot of similarities with the belief systems with the saints, and there was a lot of correlation. It was so interesting, and I was so fascinated with it. Looking back now, I really had quite a variety of a past history and exposure to a lot of different things that I didn't realize. There was a book written, and there was actually a special monument made and everything. And my dad was one of the ones with the elders and stuff working with that. And it was just absolutely fabulous. Totally amazing. But it's standing, from those little increments of standing there, and now I'm 52. I usually don't say my age on Periscope when these guys ask, but I am. I'm 52 now, and looking back at all of these things is now that I'm standing in my power. My goal is for a lot of these young women who are under the age of 52, don't wait till you're 50 to stand in your power. Don't wait. Do it now. Don't wait to be these beautiful earth angels that you are. You got to start standing in there now, because we need you now. We don't need you we'll need you 20 years from now, but starting the vibration now, starting the work now is so important, and not hiding from it. It's so important. I'm playing with these stones, right? 63 now, and I want to stand in my power. And again, used to then, exactly. But I think also too, the age group and stuff and the times we were brought up, even though with the 60s being that transformational age, it was difficult to stand in that power, right? And there was still an underlying belief system that was there that we had to conform to, and that's really a big one. So I hope I didn't lose Sean in all of this, because I know he tunes in from the eye behind it. So no, you're still there. Because it's same with the men. The men had also standing in their power and being strong men, and really within the Reiki training and stand in that and to understand that. Especially for men to be able to stand in their power also, especially spiritually, and bringing in the spirituality. You're the awesome. I love to work with you. I do. The Journey Club starts next Monday, and I'm going to be doing, and here's another thing, I'm going to be doing a little blitz on the Journey Club. And that's huge for me, right? To do that, because I'm not a huge promoter of self. I love to help as many people, but it's really hard for me to stand in that power. So, but I'm getting a strong urge from my angels, from my guides, and Archangel Shamiel to do that. Thank you, guys. And really start promoting the Journey Club, because I was told the Journey Club isn't for me, it's for everybody else. I'm going to get Olivia to help me. Please add my name, Maureen Byers, to the prayer wheel. Yes, I will. I will, Maureen, definitely. The wheel, I led it this morning, and I did my prayers over it this morning too. The Journey Club is as I keep getting told, it's not about me. It's about promoting that inner self-care for others. Leah, you're at it. I added your name. You are at it. So all of the Intuitive Wednesday group girls are all at it. And yes, in joining that, even if it's just you and I, Maureen, it's going to be absolutely fabulous. Just doing it via Periscope. Because I've had classes where it's... can you add Brendan? Yeah, I can add Brendan too. Definitely. And do you want me to add your mother-in-law? I can add your mother-in-law to it too. Yes, on Mondays. It starts next Monday on the 16th. So this week is going to be a fun week. And I'm going to see if I can bring Olivia along with me on Friday to do a Periscope, because I am doing a ghost walk on Friday and doing a ghost tour. So I got to find out from Joanna if I'm allowed to Periscope it. and so that you guys can come with me live on a ghost walk. Oh, Monte Hickman. Okay, so guys, go to my Facebook page, add those names onto my Facebook page so I don't forget, because I did not bring a pen and paper with me. So I'm trying to Periscope as much as I, to do. So, but I really wanted to do the ghost walk thing to see what happens. So, anyways, I'm going to love you and leave you. You guys all have an absolutely fabulous day. Get out, get some crystals, because they'll really help to give you that extra energy, that extra boost in your life. And being those assertive, Friday the 13th. Oh, yes. I know. That's why we're having the walk. And really do your prayers today. Do your meditations today. And you'll find greatness start happening too. I'm going back for that Shiva stone. Yes, it is so beautiful. It's so pretty. Very powerful. Very powerful stone. You can get tiny ones too. So, and then you can get the honkin' ones. So anyways, have a wonderful, blessed day, all of it. All of you. Namaste. May the gods and the goddesses bless you, watch over you, and the archangels watch over you and bless you always. Bye-bye. Oh, you said you need gunsight for deceit. Can't find it. Okay. I'll look around. Try eBay. Try there. And I will look online for you too. Okay, Maureen? All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye, all.